Hey everybody, welcome back. Northernlion checks out the booster pack. Pretty much completed what we wanted to complete in the last episode. We had a goal. The goal was unlock this character. Now we're going to play as this character. He's got a couple of things going for him. He's got a little melee attack. I like it. I like his stats. And he's got a little boomerang throw. I guess the longer you hold it, the further it goes. Now I must admit, this is not the first time I've seen this character. I watched Corey, and if you don't know who Corey is at this point, you know, I mention him now and then. Twitch.tv/FlackBlag, my late night stream of choice and also personal friend, which I guess I should probably disclose. He is also paying me $100,000 for this shout out. Am I supposed to disclose it? It's like an FTC thing, right? But to be honest with you, don't take this the wrong way, Corey. Mostly I have it on the other monitor while I try to grind challenges in Fortnite so I can get to that, oh no. So I can get to that sweet, Orange Justice dance we're all familiar with. Now, I know this guy also has one other thing. So what I was getting at is just that I haven't paid that close attention to it. This guy also has one other thing going for him. I think he can, like, become a ghost or something. But I don't know how he does that. Maybe you have to unlock that as a starting item or something. You know what? Let me check the wiki page real quick. I like him so far, though. I have no idea what bone tears do, by the way. But, The Forgotten Isaac. He cannot fire regular tears. Instead, has a bone club. Cannot acquire regular heart containers. Any regular heart containers will be turned into bone hearts. Any soul or black hearts will be given to the soul. Pressing the swap key will switch to the soul. A blue ghost who is chained to the Forgotten and can fire regular tears. It has spectral tears in flight, and while controlling the soul, the Forgotten cannot take damage and will block all normal shots that touch it. What? So, I can become this lord right here. And then swap back. Why would I do that? Well, he can fly, so I imagine that's probably part of it. This guy's going to be a little tricky to figure out, I think. It's not immediately coming to me in the same way, like, with a lot of characters, you're like, oh, he does more damage, but he has less HP. I got it. This guy is like, he's got his own unique worldview. So what you can do, and I've watched this be done, you could treat him as if he's, I guess you could dodge in that form. I don't know. But you could treat the Forgotten as if it's a big old dry baby. And then go to some normal tiers, I guess, that would amp your range up. And then basically what the Forgotten does here is just block shots while we go to town. But he's also almost dead. For right now, I'm kind of using this item as if it's just the worst version of Mom's Knife. And I'm highly okay with that. It seems to do way more damage on a swing than it does on a throw. So I think that's the other thing I'm picking up early here, is that if we want to kill something quickly and it's not very dangerous, we want to smack it. If we want to handle it from afar, we might want to throw. But I'll just let you know, now that I'm like seeing more of this character, I don't understand yet how to use the soul properly. I'm assuming defense and then like tactical flying, but I do know if either character dies, they both die, so we definitely want to slow our roll here, because if we take one more hit as the soul, we're gonna die, but all spirit arts that we get go to the soul. So I want to try something. I cannot deflect shots. I kind of thought that might be plausible. Okay. So right off the bat, what do I like? New style of damage. Melee is not very common in Isaac. You know, there's a couple of items. Most of the items that do it are terrible. Whoa, can you use the soul to, like, abuse permanent pull? No, that was Virgo. Good thinking, though. Most of the melee items in Isaac are bad, or they're Mom's Knife. In fact, the theme of melee items really seems to be Mom's Knife, but worse. Unless it's Mom's Knife, in which case, you know, it's just Mom's Knife. But, this guy, he's got a nice little damage dealer. And it's polymorphic. It could be ranged, or it could be, melee, depending on your current preference. So I like that. What do I not like? Well, what do I consider a drawback? Low HP, for sure. Well, 2 HP is not that bad. But it does make this first deal with the devil a little interesting. I mean, I think if I take this, this guy will die. So I don't necessarily want to do that just yet. I think. I don't know. I sort of, you know, I feel like I just can't right now, and I think that that's correct. What was my flowchart / thought process? Very simple. It wanted spirit hearts. I only have half of a spirit heart, so I believe it would have killed the soul, which is our, you know, backup character. Yeah, just run right into it. Who cares, right? It would have killed the soul, which is our backup character. And when the soul dies, we die. And if he dies, he dies. Well, this is like an extremely fast floor. So first floor, dude, I gotta figure out why I only had access to the negative on our last run with Azazel. Because, like, I've got 8,000,001% on every character in this freaking game. So when the game says, hey, you can only take the negative, it's not like it knew that I was trying to unlock something. It must think I have something not unlocked that needs to be unlocked. And as a result, you know, I would like to figure out what that is before I mean, it's not like our first save file is our canonical save file anymore, but I put in a lot of time on that one way back in the day. Just beat him about the face and neck. There you go. Raw Mega, living in a movie. Spiders are not dying in one hit, so we'll throw this down here. We need a little bit of safety. Definitely give him a smack. You can smack these away, that's even better. Fun character so far. Jury's out on quality, but he's interesting so far for sure. We definitely want the body. And you know, like, whenever you're on a first run with a character, you always gotta look at it and go, oh wait, I screwed it up. Just gonna say, maybe we could kill Mega Satan on our first run. Yeah, or maybe I could use 2 bombs to get a bunch of spirit hearts and accidentally ruin our chances there unless we can find a Joker card. Yeah, that's a ticket. What a dastardly plan, NL. Alright, so I'm kind of taking the run as it comes. I didn't get a chance because, like, the last episode, we were super focused on mechanics because the unlock process for this guy is not a walk in the park, right? I didn't get a chance to talk about the booster pack that much, but I'm stoked. I think, like, the booster pack is, I'm glad they came out with it. Sometimes people have been like, I lost my bone heart. Oh, so when you lose a heart, it's like cracked forever. You need another HP upgrade. I understand. So they're like, let me rephrase, because it might not be that simple based on the way I described it there. It's like a combination, I think it's a combination of spirit hearts and red hearts, where, like, say you have 2 bone hearts. You lose a half a bone heart. You go down to 1.5. You can refill that bone heart, but if you get hit again, it seems to disappear. You can have a maximum of 2, or sorry, a minimum of 2 or something like that. I don't know. We'll tease that stuff apart as time goes on. Maybe just some enemies are better to fight in corporeal form, and some are better to fight in ethereal form. Like any enemy that explodes, for example. But yeah, some people were, like, offended on my behalf. They were like, they didn't tell you a booster pack was coming? No, they don't tell me anything. But, like, why should they? I don't work for them. Like, they take a different PR approach, and that's fine by me. I'll keep making the videos, you keep making the content, and as far as I'm concerned, situation that I can't really complain about. We're still gonna get hit on the way out here, but mostly because I don't have to make the game itself, which is definitely a substantially harder job than what I'm doing right now. But anyway, I digress. So I'm happy there's more Isaac content. Couldn't have picked, like, a worse week to come out. What are these cats doing? But still, it's like I'm not gonna complain. That's awesome. We have purple bone. That's the other thing I want to see here is all the cool bone synergies we can get. Still need one more item room, perhaps the shop. But yeah, I'm excited. Especially, like, any booster pack that comes with a new character is like an instant, like, oh, I gotta see how this works. Because most of the booster packs, without being rude, I'm not gonna say they've added nothing, But some of the things they've added have not been, like, particularly transformative or strong. Like, the first booster pack, when I think about the items that were added, some of the ones that spring to mind are, like, Angry Fly. You know, when I think of Isaac, Angry Fly is not the first item that springs to mind in most situations. So to have more meaningful content added feels nice. At least it seems meaningful so far. I shouldn't have opened that, but I was so excited by the fact that I could just walk over there that felt like I should. I might be totally wrong about these bone hearts, by the way. Like, I think I've just misrepresented them entirely. Does who you were when you picked up the item affect who gets the item? Because for me, the soul does not have homing tears. Boney has homing tears, and I might prefer that that was not the way it worked. That would add another cool element of strategy to this I hadn't considered. There we go. No keys, no keys. Yeah, I have no idea. What I will say is I think you should prepare yourself for the probability that this is liable to be a negative run. Not a run in which I am negative, hopefully, but a run in which we're taking the negative, because I think we may just... Well, it might just be a run that goes only to Mom, now that I think about it. Well, no, that shouldn't be how it works. I've unlocked everything in this game enough times now that I should know kind of what's happening, but... This guy's throwing me for a little bit of a loop. 2 keys, that's perfect. I won't even make the classic 2 princes joke in the interim period. I bought a bomb, but I was trying to buy a spirit heart. Maybe you can only have 6 maximum as the soul. A lot of maybes being thrown out now, because I have no idea. I'm in uncharted territory, probably just like the rest of you, you know? Unicorn Stump. Absolutely. Unicorn Stump plus Orbital plus Melee seems awesome. Let me test it out. Let me test it out. We can't shoot, so it's really just Orbital. So it's kind of a little bit against the spirit of playing as a new character for now. I'll look for another spacebar item, but for now, you know, with 3 HP, I'm pretty happy to see that we have at least something to keep ourselves relatively alive as we head down to the next floor. Looking for other synergies. Homing Tears seems like a 2 out of 10 synergy for this guy. I'm willing to be proven wrong, but I don't think I'm gonna be. We'll see. I also, the irony was lost on me, but has now been found. That we got on the the first video really with a new character in the booster pack, we got the item that stymied us for so long trying to get it. Just to get 1,000,001% in the first place. So these guys, you know, I had just about enough of you. Do this. Use this guy. I think if you have low HP, you're gonna love being able to use this guy as like a stationary orbital. Especially, well, I guess you can't really be a stationary orbital in hindsight, but you get the idea. Especially because he won't move when he gets hit. Why wouldn't you use Unicorn Stump there, you fool? That's the whole reason it existed. Luckily, we took that damage on the character we wanted to take it on, but still. Keep it moving. Right now, I have no idea where this run stands. Is it strong? It feels pretty strong. But is that just because the character is strong? Or is it perhaps even just because, you know, Unicorn Stump Orbital is overpowered? Or, you know, we got all sorts of... Oh my god, new enemy. We got all sorts of potential things to think about here. So this guy, like, charges up to hit you. And then bounces around. And it doesn't look like he gets interrupted there. Obviously, there's a new boss as well. As much as I love, like, intellectually, my 400 IQ Isaac brain, which is about 1% of my actual brain. I'm not trying to say I have a 40,000 IQ or whatever I said the number was the first times 100. But just a little part of my Isaac brain that's very smart, and the rest of it is more like, hey, take this item, it'll be funny. The smart part of my brain is like, how amazing, delectable that you could have an orbital of your own placement to guard you in situations where your health points are low. The rest of my Isaac brain is like, I like to smack the enemies with my bone. I don't know why both parts of my brain have accents different than my own. You're gonna have to ask a neurologist that. I'm not a neurologist, so I can't answer your question for you. I wish I could. Very strong odds of a deal with the devil here. Get smacked! You can't smack while you're in this phase. It's like you've remembered nothing. You took damage, but somehow it didn't affect my odds of getting a deal with the devil. So I already love this character, and it was a deal with the angel anyway, but get a bone heart. Give me the halo, and this time I am gonna fight you. You're only giving me a key. You can make pretty short work of this guy. That was not bad. Dude, I've been shaving like less frequently. We're getting off on a tangent here. I've been shaving less frequently, and it's like half Infinity War came out, and I'm like, I would look like Captain America if I just didn't shave. And then half, like, laziness, right? Like most beard growers. Don't shoot the messenger, you know it's true. Shaving is annoying. I can understand why you wouldn't be so interested. But now I find, and I don't know if this is like a common thing or what, so that's why I'm asking. But now I find that, and I'm not even touching this with bone hearts, I don't even know what it does, that whenever I shave, my face is like not used to being exposed to the elements anymore. So I get like all sorts of dust gets stuck in my stubble and like cat hair especially. Is this happen to anybody else? I feel like I'm losing my mind here. Every time I shave, I'm like rubbing my nose like I need a hit or something like that. Need a hit of that facial hair. Dude, okay, that was a cool move. The fact that we can... This might be a new room, too. The fact that we can switch to our flying guy in the middle of Unicorn Stump and have it still work is kind of hilarious. Are we going to do boss rush? Well, probably not. Admittedly, we may like to... Ooh, let's botch that one badly. We may like to... Because we're gonna have to do so at some point anyway, right? But I think... Oh, it does look like those tears were homing. Even though they lack the telltale purpleness. I don't know if this is the run for it, though. I'm also looking at these deal with the devil and angel odds. Oh, I didn't even hit the spacebar. And going, what? 40% chance of a deal with the devil? There's 62.5% chance that deal with the devil is actually a deal with the angel. Okay, whatever you say. I'm not used to hitting control this much. So this will be our boss fight. I think we're good. I think we're ready to go. And honestly, like, I just want to use the melee character. I do want to use Unicorn Stump as necessary. You know, maybe to, like, prevent some of the damage we've already taken, like an idiot. But the melee damage is good enough. Just smacking the crap out of the spawns as they happen. Okay, so we did get Polaroid. We'll take that first, just to make things easy. We don't want to respawn with Judas' Shadow. I think we'll go for this, though. You know what I just realized, by the way? The reason we looked like we lost HP earlier was because we popped a strength card, and that was the strength card disappearing. Fair enough. Relatively honest mistake. Really could have popped that a quarter of a second earlier. No guarantees on survival here. Can't fly. Definitely should have switched. 2 hits. 2 hits. Well, yeah, just run right into him. What does it matter, right? It's all good, because you got to remember, we just want to kill Boney. Or we just want to kill Boss Rush with the Forgotten, who I'm describing as Boney. Technically very true. We're making some mistakes in the process here, but, you know, who hasn't made mistakes? God, he sucked me in with the tractor beam when I wasn't expecting it. I'm loving the permanent Polaroid invincibility that I'm realizing now is not actually permanent Polaroid invincibility, but is yet again Virgo confusing me. Wow. Virgo's Wet Nurse. It's a little Isaac combined with Bloodborne for you. Okay, I like that a lot. If you haven't watched Bloodborne, sit yourself down. You don't need to watch Bloodborne, you could play it. I'm not going to suggest the definitive way to watch, or the definitive way to experience a From Software game is to watch a grown man that isn't you play it, but, you know, I'm just saying, capability does exist. You are being ruthless right now. You're being a real jerk, if I'm being honest with you. That's why I loved beating you about the face and neck. I don't think we're gonna die on Boss Rush. I think we're gonna die soon after Boss Rush. It would be helpful if I could stop running into enemies. Remember, I mean, the Bone Lord, which is a great name for him, and also my vanity license plate. He's got range. Don't be afraid to throw some range in here. Like, not only does he have a ranged attack, but he is, like, literally, like, you don't have to be standing on top of the enemy in order to hit him. Also, don't forget, you could switch to the Soul, fight him like this instead, and you got a lot more HP. Not doing nearly as much damage, but, you know, sometimes beggars can't be choosers, you know? Please. Thank God for Spectral Tears. Kinda trying to get you to just, like, pop over here so I can dust you as easily as possible. Enormous whiff. Face him. Face him head on. He will not stop you. You are the chosen one. Oh, we at least got one of them. I can live with that. Homing tears against these, like, little poops, that'll get the job done. Over time, all we gotta do is shoot in their general direction. Alright, I don't know, we're not a good run, if I'm being honest, but we're starting to piece together whatever the keys to the kingdom are with this guy. I think we're starting to get there. Very slowly, but also hopefully very surely. I'm on 1 full red heart, so we can afford to DPS up a bit. It'll work. Hey, you ever consider just, like, being deceased? It's like, you know, I thought I've been doing a pretty okay job here. I didn't realize that actually I'm a piece of garbage and enemy's got 500 HP left and there's 100 waves to go. Please let me free. Let's go. New item unlocked. Divorce papers. Apple. What does this do for our bone tier? I have no idea. We'll be moving on. With one... Oh, it's like maybe if you finish a room with that few hearts, then the hearts are gone forever. Is that how it works? So we're going to be extremely reliant on the soul. Because the soul... Much more replenishable HP for now. I actually, in contrast to what you might think, I'm not overly scared of the way this run looks right now. Having 1 HP is terrible, except we don't really have 1 HP, do we? We have like 4 HP, as long as we don't get hit by a super surprise that comes out of nowhere. Which this guy could definitely do, but... What we're doing right now is just trying to, like, maximize the crowd control done right now. Yeah, in contrast to what you might think, I actually feel somewhat comfortable in our present situation. I'm comfortable with a little bit of anarchy on a run. You should know that by now. Where do I always land in Fortnite? The farm? Yeah, what's the farm called? Fatal Field? No, not that one. Anarchy Acres. That's a little dangerous. And we don't have a charge here, so we should, on this floor, or on this room, I should say, take it real slow. And I think it's good. We're getting a little bit of a feel for how, you should probably rock this character. Like, we're learning a lot. At first, I was like, why wouldn't you just be the melee lord all the time? And I'm learning a valuable lesson that not every situation is conducive to melee. We really, really can't do that. And it's tempting, but untenable. Tempting, yet untenable. This sucks. Wait, no it doesn't. I can just leave and then run through. Thank you. So leave this guy up here. We got range. That's one of the huge things we got going for us in this stage right here. So we'll just shoot. And we got a little orbital hanging back doing good stuff for us. Hey, you know what? We learned a valuable lesson through induction. This might actually be deduction, but oh yeah, just walk on the spikes and get your run ruined. That seems like a really good idea. What did I learn? You don't need to be the soul to have the soul have the effect of the item. And we were kind of grokking that with our homing tiers. But I was, to some extent, I think I acted like the jury was out. The jury is not out. You can absolutely have the effect because some of our shots are razor blades. Homing razor blades, no less. I would feel bad to lose this run. We have a great excuse to lose it. It's our first time ever playing this character. But that's not, you know, I think that's a little dishonest. The run is good. Did I fail to understand what was happening with the character? Yeah, for a long time. But I really think that, you know, we got all the available tools we need here. Really hoping for it. The gauze there. Just clear like one side. Oh, that first damage you take on all floor, but still that hurts. You know what's cool about this run, I think, is the idea that you could have two different runs in one, really. Like, you could have a run that's really amazing as the Bone Lord, and then as, you know, Blue Baby's Lost, maybe it's kind of garbage. And vice versa, like, this one, it seems pretty well balanced so far, but, you know, I could definitely foresee a situation in which maybe one of the two runs is better than the other. By a lot. But then as your HP, you know, rises and falls, you might not have the ability to be the character you want to be all the time, and that's where the conflict lies. Kind of neat. Please. Still getting used to a lot of this, though. Yeah, I ran right into that. At least I swapped, but I shouldn't have run into that. Oh, Tinted Rock. Highly valuable for the soul, not nearly as valuable as the Bone Lord. I guess that's the, well, okay. So the other thing is, once you lose a lot of HP as the Bone Lord, you know, you gotta rely on HP to show up, which is not necessarily that common. Like an HP container, they dwindle in likelihood as you get further and further into the game, no doubt. Alright, it's new boss. I know something about this guy. He summons all these things. He's like an amalgam of fistulas and this piece of garbage. Not at this point, I don't even know. It becomes like an actual bullet hell. Please, while you have the invincibility, smack him. Then he becomes Chub. No! We lived. Maybe you don't lie, or you don't die. When the Bone Lord dies, you only die if the soul dies. I don't know what's happening. But it's fun. I don't know what's happening, but it's fun. There you go. My brain was like, what combination of buttons do I need to press to make this happen? So I got a game plan now. That last floor looked bad. Wasn't great. But ended in a way that actually gives me a lot of upside, I think. Now we got a little bit of HP as the Bone Lord. So we're going to open pretty much every floor by running in, giving a little smack, maybe 2 smacks, and then throwing a unicorn stump in there. Just something to keep us honest, you know? And now, what is this? Little 9 lives. Seems very appropriate. We can leave with the unicorn stump. Make no mistake, I understand how lucky we've gotten. Like, this is a possibly like an 8 or 9 out of 10 run. And if we lose it, I'll feel real bad. But it's nice to get an 8 or a 9 out of 10 run, your first run through as a character, because were it not for this, I probably would have died maybe even a couple of times. So to have a little bit of leniency in your first run here is nice. And now I understand a little bit more about the character and what they're trying to do with him. And I think, you know, for the next situation where we play as this guy, I'm going to be a lot more well-equipped to handle things. So that was the best unicorn stump I've ever used. Bar none. We're doing some smacks. Sure, give me the Locust of Famine. Just trying to wait it out. I think if we play our butts off here, we're completely set. You are an idiot. I am an idiot and a fool. Are we gonna leave? Are we gonna die when I leave this room? How'd you run into him? Just back up for 2 seconds. Well, we didn't die when we left the room, which is highly nice. Is it? I mean, the bone heart looks empty. Let's be real. What an interesting conundrum we have in front of us. Dare I take this opportunity to try to get the luckiest we've ever gotten in our entire lives? He has actually done it somehow. Okay. So again, from the bowels of defeat, we get rescued once more. Who said fate was cruel, dude? I don't know. It's probably like O. Henry or something like that. I ain't talking about the chocolate bar. Oh, it's a tractor beam that only fires on certain occasions. Like getting a day off work. You! I almost stood there as he was going to explode. Oh, we absolutely need that. Okay. We're now at the point, without a doubt, we deserve to have lost this run, but deserve ain't got that much to do with it when the numbers come in. So I think I realize how to fight this guy. You definitely want to be the ghost for this section, and that's when you deploy your tactical dry baby. Alright, easy money. Marrow has appeared in the basement. I'm not gonna... Oh, we didn't even make Hush. So there's nothing to worry about there. If we could get a whole side of the game done on the first run, I'd be a happy camper. And I think we're pretty quickly approaching that. Soul would be very thankful for a little bit more HP. This character's real fun. Lessens the sting of knowing that we're gonna have to do greed mode a few more times. Not to be insulting to the developers, you know, it's not my favorite mode. Maybe it's yours, but I know it isn't, but I have to say that in the interest of being polite. This is like a guy we can definitely face head on. He's getting his butt kicked. Alright. I don't know if I've ever... Well, probably in history it's happened, but... It's been a long time before I've had a run where I got as saved as I was right here. Like, we were on... Oh, you fool. We were on the brink of defeat. On boss rush, on the womb 1, on the womb 2, and now on the cathedral, like, we're sitting pretty somehow. So yeah, I gotta own up to the fact that somebody up there likes me. Gotta remember as well that just because I want the bone to smack away projectiles does not mean that's how it works at all. I wish that it was different. I think it would be cool, but probably also maybe a little overpowered. Oh, dude, the damage is legit. A little history of popping Unicorn Stump just like a second too late. And you know what? You fight this guy like this. Starting to see it. Bullet hell bosses. A little bit of tactical dry baby action. Now, nobody's going to be particularly excited to see this damage, but it's okay. When he comes back, smack him a couple of times. Hit him with the ghost. Yeah, okay. A character with a completely new style of play. How interesting. Swap is starting to become second nature. Yeah, you can still be hit. Like I said, second nature. I didn't say first nature. I'm also interested to see what the, like, run of choice between, like, using your melee as the bone and using your range as the bone is going to be. Because I think there's definitely situations where you could get a cool synergy with the ranged attack that makes it preferable. But for now, it seems way worse on this run. So we unlock Slipped Rib. That sounds like a trinket, more so than an item. We got the pinkest items I've ever seen. None of which are major players for us, but yeah, a little tears upgrade and a little range upgrade. Okay. Yeah, just maybe bum rush the lowest priority enemy by far. That seems like a good idea. So I still would hesitate to say we're in a great spot, but I will be the first to tell you that everything about the fact that we might be in a little bit of a negative spot is my own fault. Oh, that was close. Definitely, this is not a run where I did everything right and got screwed. In fact, I might have done almost everything wrong. Sorry, I'm still scratching my face like a weirdo. I don't know what it is. It's like, the other day, Kate looked at me and she was like, "Have you always had that mole on your cheek?" And I was like, "I don't know. I've been growing facial hair, you know, since I was 12. I haven't seen an unfettered, pure look." You fool. That was hard to get out of, to be fair. At the bottom of my face in years. Decades, really. We're gonna have a tooth bone on occasion? Like a whorl? Oh, give me Black Rune here, absolutely. Black. Oh, we have 2 orbitals now, so Unicorn Stump is even better. Not that it was ever bad, but like... You know what? Things are getting a little spicy in there. I totally forgot. Genuinely, like, capital F forgot. We have 9 lives. So I actually think on this run, we're totally fine. Even though it's going to be mildly scary as we get further and further. Unless, like, if you die with the soul, you lose all your 9 lives, which would be a big surprise, to say the least. But when you're dealing with new mechanics, you never know. I'd prefer to not use any of our 9 lives. This character is going to be like a siren song for me, I can already tell. Wonderful, that there's like built-in great damage. Terrible that I am always gonna go for like a heavy melee instead of playing it safe and using the ghost. It's just, it's a character that's built to exploit my brain's fatal flaw of being unable to ever take the second best damage option even when it's much safer. Like, that was very stupid of me. I guess maybe Bone Hearts, they give you a little resilience at the end. Like, you can have an empty Bone Heart, or maybe it's just because, you know, as long as the soul lives, the body can return. I don't know. For a bit. So we lost our HP as the soul. You know what? If we're gonna die, it's a good mechanic to learn. If you respawn with 9 lives, the soul loses all the spirit hearts. I like when you smack a bomb back at an enemy with your bat. That is fun. That's not the 500 IQ Isaac part of my brain talking, in case you didn't notice. I swear, you can go scrub through the audio. There's a spacebar click in there. Maybe not in a timely fashion, but close. I didn't just run in there. I was just slightly ill-timed with my spacebar. Okay. When you have an enemy that you can just wail on, that feels amazing. If only Unicorn Stump would allow you to smack while you were using it. This would be a 15 out of 10 combination. Like, it would be so amazing. You know I gotta give this guy like a couple of tries like this. That was the most panic play I've ever done there. Run for your life. Pop him. You know you got curve shots to deal with here. You can't get hit. Okay, got a little afraid there. I cannot swap or I will be hit immediately. That chain, I don't know if it saved my life or screwed me, but I was having a good time there. Dude, he's neutralized. No, he's dead! He died! Hold up, hold up, hold up. Hey, hold up, hold up, hold up. We had him! Dang, that's terrible. Okay, well, I guess all you have to do is actually wait for Virgo, and then just beat the bejesus out of him, and he is dead. One more item unlocked. That's the Jawbone. Well, it's a good run. You've got to see a lot of new mechanics. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. It helps a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more of the feature. For now, watch. I will see you next time.